Hello. The oxygen cycle, along with the carbon cycle and nitrogen cycle, plays an essential role in the existence of life on the Earth. The oxygen cycle is a biological process which helps in maintaining the oxygen level by moving through three main spheres of the Earth, which are the atmosphere, the lithosphere, the hydrosphere, and the biosphere. This biogeochemical cycle explains the movement of oxygen gas within the atmosphere, the ecosystem, biosphere, hydrosphere, and the lithosphere. The oxygen cycle is interconnected with the carbon cycle. The oxygen cycle is very essential for life because it is mainly required for breathing, combustion, supporting aquatic life, decomposition of organic waste. Oxygen is an important element required for life, however, it can be toxic to some anaerobic bacteria. The oxygen cycle is mainly involved in maintaining the level of oxygen in the atmosphere.
The atmosphere of Earth is the layer of gases commonly known as air retained by Earth gravity surrounding the planet Earth and forming its planetary atmosphere. The atmosphere of Earth protects life on Earth by creating pressure, allowing for liquid to exist on the Earth's surface, absorbing ultraviolet solar radiation, warming the surface through heat retention, greenhouse effect, and reducing temperature extremes between day and night. By volume, dry air contains 78.9% nitrogen, 20.95% oxygen, 0.93% argon, 0.04% carbon dioxide, and small amount of other gases. Air also contains a variable amount of water vapor on average around 1% at the sea level and 0.4% over the entire atmosphere.
Hydrosphere. It is the total amount of water that can be found in the planet, including in the surface, underground, and in the air. It is found in different types of forms, such as bodies of water, in ice form, or even in water vapor form. It is one of the reservoirs of oxygen as it is composed of 33% oxygen by volume as a component of water molecules with dissolved molecules including free oxygen and carbonic acids. However, the society have progressed so far that humans are making a severe impact towards the hydrosphere. Discharges of toxic chemicals, radioactive substances, and other industrial waste affect the surface and subsurface aquatic systems. Improper disposals of petroleum and sewage and thermal pollution are also destroying its quality. The potential changes in the hydrologic cycle induced by global warming resulting from anthropogenic emissions of greenhouse gases do not seem great. Their consequences could be severe for ecosystems and human populations. It is essential that the society plan for such potential changes so that if they do occur, appropriate adjustments can be made to ameliorate them. As a part of the human society, people have to work our way through in preventing and preparing for such possible negative outcomes that may occur in the future.
One of the major reservoirs of oxygen is the lithosphere. The lithosphere is the rigid outer layer of the Earth that consists of the crust and upper mantle. The lithosphere is considered to be the largest reservoir of oxygen. The oxygen found in the lithosphere are mostly not free-moving but are stored in chemical compounds such as silica and oxides. Through chemical weathering, the lithosphere can take in oxygen from the atmosphere when a pure element comes in contact with oxygen, just like what happens when rusts are formed in iron. It is also through chemical weathering that oxygen can be released or freed back into the atmosphere when a mineral containing oxygen wears down due to exposure to elements. The lithosphere holds great importance in the oxygen cycle and it plays a very important role in the protection and maintenance of life on Earth. However, human activities that take part in the lithosphere are bringing negative effects to our environment and degrades the quality of air that we breathe. Some examples of human activities that greatly impacts our environment are fracking, which affects the environment through the injection of chemicals into the groundwater, deforestation, which is one of the most common destruction of the environment and destroys many habitats of animals, overgrazing, which damages the soil that may lead to erosion, and urbanization, which leads to erosion and sedimentation. These are just some of the activities on the lithosphere that greatly impacts our environment, and if this persists, what future can we get from these activities that continues to degrade the quality of air and consequently the quality of life?
Volcano eruption is a perfect example of a natural disaster that affects the atmosphere. When a volcano erupts, it releases gases and dust into the atmosphere of the Earth. Large particles of volcanic ash or dust released have little effects because they fall out of the air quickly. Small ash particles form a dark cloud in the troposphere, but the smallest particles of dust get into the stratosphere and travel vast distances, often worldwide. These tiny particles are so light that they can stay in the stratosphere for months, blocking the sunlight and causing cooling over large areas of the Earth. Volcanoes also release large amounts of greenhouse gases, such as water vapor and carbon dioxide. There have been times during Earth's history when intense volcanism has significantly increased the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and caused global warming. Now, there are many man-made disasters that affect the Earth's atmosphere. Gas leaks tend to be some of the most dangerous disasters. One of the most famous nuclear meltdowns occurred in Chernobyl. The explosions it triggered caused a major release of nuclear radioactive material into the atmosphere. Radionuclides were scattered in the vicinity of the plant and over much of Europe. The Chernobyl fallout had a major impact on both agricultural and natural ecosystems in Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine, as well as many other European countries.
Epigenetics can cause a very negative effects on our environment, and that negative effect can also affect us humans. So it's really important for us to raise awareness and identify the negative effects of epigenetics to our environment. The negative effects of the epigenetics to us humans is that it can cause a lifelong diseases like obesity, diabetes, and other lifelong threatening diseases. So it's really important for us to identify these negative effects, and we need to raise awareness about it.